carry on because he wants to.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Rendez-View, the show where we cover hot talks, hot goss, and whatever makes your dick thick. So, bringing up to my lovely sisters to the stage, and mother and daughter, Tiffany Morgan. Where is she?
I'm here.
Hello.
I'm here.
You. And Mercury Wild. Hello, hello, hello. For those who don't know, I am Venus DeRogue, and I am part of the Morgan family, the legacy. And you're my daughter and mother. Just in time for Mother's Day, right?
Just in time for Mother's Day, yes. My name is Mercury Wild, the star of this family. Had you heard? Kidding. I'm just kidding. No, man.
Girl. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Are you going to introduce yourself?
Okay,
Tiff?
so I'm
No?
Tiffany Morgan,
Okay.
drag queen extraordinaire, Kingston, Ontario. Hashtag Tiff's Garden, Tiffany.com. Subscribe, like, and make sure to donate and tip me.
Tip her. The whole tip. All of it.
Just yeah.
What's that thing you used to say all the time? Tipping is not just a city in China?
Yes, tipping is not just a city in China, sweet pea.
And she needs her money. She's
How are you, girls? How are you?
Yeah. Who are we talking to?
I don't
Girls,
know.
how
Who
are you?
You in the middle.
Well,
I introduced myself, here is Mercury Wild. Introduce yourself, girl.
I already did.
she did.
girl. Are you?
Oh, okay.
There's a 5-second delay from our streams to Tiffany's. Apparently, I don't. Just kidding.
Delayed. Please stand by.
She's delayed. It's not the stream.
Hey.
This is
nothing to do
fighting
with the
words.
drink.
Names is fighting words. You want to fight?
Okay. How are you guys? What have you guys been up to since the last time we've talked? Let's start with you, Mercury. Like, what's been going on? What's been happening in those last 2 weeks?
Oh, I've been so busy sitting in my room and playing video games and waiting for the world to change. No, it's been a pretty bland couple of weeks in my personal life, but I've just been watching the news and keeping up with the gossip and discussing what we were going to do for this show, and I'm very excited about what we got in store for today.
Yes. Do we tell them or do we wait?
Well, let's let Tiffany say her bit, and then we'll tell the kids.
Well, I'm just so excited. I'm sorry, guys.
I know.
Well, with me, I'm just sitting here like a fading petunia in the corner here, waiting for my for my vaccinations. For goodness sakes, like everyone's gotten the vaccinations, and I'm just like, where's the drug at? Where's the drug at? Give it to me. Give it to me.
Tiffany, you chose to live in the wrong city. If you wanted to get vaccinated early.
Like, unless you were 60 and above, they like 80% of the 60 and older crew have gotten vaccinated in Kingston. But then suddenly, I don't know, they diverted all the vaccines over to Toronto or something for some reason.
For Shamada girls.
And I sent some flowers to my mama because it's Mother's Day. So
that is really cute. How is your mother doing?
How's my mother doing?
Yeah, she's good.
She's doing great. My God, her husband and her
don't sound so surprised.
a campsite, and you know, they're like thinking about camping, and like, yeah, and she took photos of the flowers. She just loved them. So, and Jazz Morgan's doing well too. You know, she's got her business and stuff. So jazzmorgan.ca. Just saying.
You better get the royalties for doing this promo for her website.
And
1 cent of every payment.
And how has your week been then?
Mine week?
Yeah, Venus.
My week has actually been pretty good. I think it's been like a whirlwind right now because they released the online booking system for people that are 18 plus in hotspot zones. So like it seems like everyone's been getting vaccinated. I got vaccinated this week. Oh my god, my eye is so itchy. I got vaccinated this week. I didn't book an appointment. I found a walk-in. So yay, 1 out of 2. We are almost there. And then it's been kind of funny because I see all these like gays popping up. You're like, no, vaccinated. It's just like we're just half vaccinated, darlings. It's like,
yeah.
What?
Well, I was sitting on a little secret before we got into it. The most exciting thing that happened in the last 2 weeks since we spoke is both Venus and I have gotten vaccine number 1. So both of us got the jab. Step 1. Very, very happy about it and thrilled. It was a fucking pain in the asshole to get it though. Because they do it in the butt, right? Is that how it's done? Or am I?
I think that's the other shot you got. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's for the discharge. That was that shot. Yeah.
Oh, it's that one. See, I got them mixed up. Yeah. So I think it's great that they've kind of like, you know, redirected a lot of vaccines to Toronto because it was seeming like it was going to be October by the time that we got vaccinated, and then like shit just kind of picked up kind of quickly. But then we hear Tiff, and she's in Kingston, and she's registered, and she's been on wait lists and all this other stuff. So Tiff, do you want to tell us a little bit about your experience?
Oh yeah, like I'm like on every major pharmacy like sign up list. But come next week, I am going to be eligible through the public health. So I'm kind of like a little bit like on one side, I'm like, well, we're going to sign up for the public health and see which which area calls me back first, and I'll get my shot first. But on the other side, I'm like, well, I kind of want the public health one because it's like the Moderna Pfizer one, which is like I hear it's a little bit, you know, I will take whatever is given to me first and foremost, but you know, you kind of like feel like a little bit shopping, right? You're like,
Yep,
true, true.
Well, and you hear
your experience though, sorry, I think
oh no, go on.
I think I'm off record here, but Mercury, I found your journey. You were telling me about it just to get the jab.
Yep. So for me, I had registered with like a pre-registry here in the city, and I was waiting to hear back from them, and I wasn't. And then I knew people who, you know, had registered at the same place, and it's just kind of like they registered just that much faster, and so they were getting it, and I wasn't. And I was like, "What the fuck's going on?" So then they released on like the torontovaccine.ca website all the hot spots, and you could register for 18 plus, and then, you know, you'd go on at 8 in the morning, and then you would see that you're like 70,000th in line and be like, oh my God, is this ever going to happen? And I tried it twice, and both times online, I didn't get anything, and I wasted an hour, and it was so discouraging. But then I called the phone line, and I waited for 45 minutes. I listened to some really awful hold music, but then I finally got connected. And the lady on the phone, she sent me to Etobicoke to go and get it, but I got an appointment, and I on Thursday I got in the car and I drove all the way to it, or I got in the Uber and I got chauffeured all the way to Etobicoke to go and get this fucking vaccine. But you know what? It's worth it. I like the money I spent on the Uber was worth it because Now there's not this like sense of like, will it happen? Will it not? I'm waking up every morning at 8 or earlier to get in line. Girl, getting a vaccine or getting an appointment to get a vaccine, it was like trying to get floor tickets to see Lady Gaga. It's like the line is so long, you have to be in the queue, and you may not even get it, and then you shed a tear at the end. So,
Oh my gosh.
so yeah, we had Venus got it through a pop-up that you just kind of saw at the right time, and you showed up at the right time.
Yeah, I think that's like a big lesson for this. It's like timing has been everything for this, and I think it's just you had to be lucky to get it in Toronto.
Absolutely.
And like thankfully this week people's luck was increased a lot because they had so many more appointments. They got so many more like vaccines, but even so, it was just like originally I had an appointment booked on the 21st, but then I saw the pop-up. I was like, oh well, it's just a quick bike ride, so I just like biked over, and then I got a shot in my arm.
Isn't that telling though? Our stories. I'm still waiting for it. I'm on the waiting list. Mercury was able to get it, but had to pay like a $40 cab ride, sort of thing.
Both ways, girl. Both ways.
Yeah, both ways. And Venus was just like, oh, I just walked by someplace.
Well, I mean, thank God for my roommates. When my roommates were like, my roommate like rushed into the door. He's like, there are vaccines going on at like, the Jimmy Simpson place. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, are they gone?
Well, that's just it, right? Is that you hear that there's vaccines, you hear there's openings, but then you're like, is it worth it? Like, should I even go? Like, because I've seen the lines that are showing up at these pop-ups, and they are wild, girl. Like, they go down blocks and blocks and blocks. And it's like when you're at the very back of that line, I'd be like, I'm just going home. Like, there's no way. But I'm glad that Venus, you got the shot. I'm so happy that I got the shot, and I'm so hopeful for you, Tiffany. And then we'll discuss.
I don't doubt I'll be getting it at some point.
Just change your living address to mine. I'm like, come to Toronto.
Yeah.
Actually, don't do that but let's not spread it. Yeah, but like,
Oh, super spreader, you're canceled. Canceled.
Suddenly the Rendez-View is canceled.
Yeah, canceled. Do not take this advice. We are not recommending.
We will not Priyanka it up here. We will just.
Do not be spreading your don't spread your germs.
You do not have that privilege.
What privilege? April Brown said, "You look lovely tonight, Tiffany." What about the rest of us, April? Okay, it's not like there's 2 other people on the stream. I'm just kidding.
I mean, you're wearing trash in your hair. Just FYI.
I am wearing recyclables. These are recyclables, not trash. Okay, get it together. I am saving the planet. I am wearing trash on my arms, but not on my head.
Well, we did get a comment from Courtney though. Damn those looks.
I know, me and Venus, we kind of like really turned it up tonight, and Tiff.
Well, I'm just glad that, me and Tiff did boy drag and Mercury did this like other drag.
Hey. What are you talking about? I've got multiple layers of foundation on here. Hey.
There's nothing wrong with being a boy and wearing foundation.
Not at all, ma'am. Not at all.
Right, yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. And that really ties into the topic.
I know, yeah. It's like I had a plan. I'm kidding. It was ad-lib.
It just happened to roll that way.
Yeah.
Well, before we get into the topic, has anything else happened this week that you guys feel is noteworthy, notable to discuss?
Mother's Day?
Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day.
That hasn't happened yet, but yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Oh, are you talking about some programs?
Yes, Miss Thing, yes. Have we seen any programs on the television or online that we have been excited about for a while?
Well, there was this a group fuck on Pornhub that I really just love.
Okay, end screen.
I saw that too. I saw that too. I thought the production could have been better, honestly. No, of course, we're talking about Drag Race Down Under.
Down Under.
Yeah, Down Under.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I've only seen the first episode, but I was pleasantly surprised. It made Canada's Drag Race look very crunchy.
Oh. But you know what they did? They put all of the money into the grand prize, whereas Down Under, their grand prize is $30,000. They're like, we're gonna keep this $70,000 and we're gonna put it into the production.
That is true. I think like, sorry.
Coronavirus.
But even the queens themselves, they just look so much more polished than the Canada's Drag Race queens. And I think like
You better drag Canada's Drag Race. You better drag them all by the front of their legs.
Oh my God.
yeah, but I mean, like I'm no, don't get me wrong. Like the Canada's Drag Race queens are like way better than the drag that I'll ever do. But like it's just like the Australian Drag Race just looked so much better. Maybe they had a bigger pool to choose from, and because they had Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah.
So
And
like
it's different, right? It's not as different as like UK drag. Like I feel like UK drag is like you can tell that a drag queen is from the UK by the kind of like the guiche they put on or how they present themselves. But then Down Under has this kind of like amalgamation, I think, of a bunch of different kinds of drags, but then still it's very specific. And they really like those like foam wigs, those like fake hair wigs, don't they?
Yeah, there
was
were
there only
a
the
few
one?
of
I
those
thought
looks.
There was two. There was two.
Oh, who
There
had the
were a few
second
of those
one?
looks, so
I actually love Anita. I love that she can't stop smiling. That she's like,
oh yeah.
"Hi, how are you?" It's like, just like,
I died when they were doing that like mini challenge and Rue was like, give me angry, give me happy. And she just did the same thing the whole time.
yeah,
I was like, girl, give us versatility.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow, the entrance to the room was lovely too. And she is one half of the House of Drag, which is I guess it's a program, and I haven't watched it myself, so.
We have actually. It's really cute. It's very like what you see is what you get. It doesn't seem super edited or scripted or produced or anything like that. If you haven't watched it, I recommend it. It was really cute.
And then Art Simone. Oh, I did like this
yes.
look.
Yes. Yes, she was really good.
She was one of the only ones that I had heard of outside of like the lineup. So hearing that she was going to be on, I was like, oh, that's exciting. And obviously you can tell that she knows who she is as a drag performer, as a character. Like she's got it down. The one thing I will say though, it's really kind of funny. She put out a tweet right before the show started with this picture saying, I'm all for a little bit of Photoshop, but this looks nothing like me. LOL, watch Drag Race Down Under in X amount of days. And I was like, really? And then people were kind of telling you to like zoom in on a couple different things. And like they edited her jawline and it doesn't look real. It has like a really like deep bump in it. And then the whites of her eyes were also blown out and like super saturated. And I was like, interesting. So she called them out, but I think she looks right.
Okay. Do we want to go through them all? Because I got them all here.
Let's do it.
Okay, here we go. I love Coco Jumbo. I don't know, she just walked into the room and I was just like, I was so excited for her. I love that she called Electra's Wake thirsty because Electra's Wake was thirsty. And when she walked into that room, I was like, oh, girl.
Go brush your hair. Brush your hair.
It looks like a reality show, like Housewife, like Real Housewives of like,
I was about to say, that is a woman. That is a woman. Like she is fucking gorgeous. My God, like she does her makeup so well.
Absolutely, yeah. And I hope.
I loved her Magilla Gorilla outfit that she had on the runway. That was so cute.
I thought it was adorable too.
The other
like
one we don't talk about, but
yeah, when you think of gorilla outfits, you kind of think it's like on the masculine side sort of thing. But she definitely made it her own and feminized it, and I love
Yeah,
it.
she was like
Yeah,
Tarzan's mom, even though that was in Australia. But
I was thinking about
oh, here she
Sorry.
is. Oh, here she is.
You know what? She did look. Her hair was really crunchy, but I like her. I think she's funny. She's really funny. She won the mini challenge. I don't want to. Are we let spoilers?
Oh, she did.
Okay.
No,
It's been out for a whole week. It's been out for a whole week.
Spoilers. She's in the bottom, but she stays. And I think, I think she has promise. I think her taste level is a little questionable, but like I think as like a funny person and like a stage presence, I think she's pretty cool. So this is like Electric Shock is someone I would actually like to meet, but I mean,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, etc.
Girl, when she came in and her little cockroach thing was like falling down, I was like, give her a second chance. Let her do her entrance again. Come on, y'all.
But girl,
go on.
Oh, I just want that costume. That's all I was saying. Who's your designer?
Okay. Okay, she wants to be a roach. Okay.
There we go.
There are two kinds of roaches in life: cockroaches and the other kind you can get high from.
Roaches. JoJo's the hoe.
I don't know how I feel about this. Spoiler alert, she's the one who went home first, unfortunately. So we don't get to really see what else she had to bring. But I think what she brought and what we saw, unfortunately, it was just... And with this particular look, when she came in and she had all the white, I get what she was trying to do with like the cartoon, like that pop art look, but it just looked like she had cum on her face.
It didn't really read very well. Also, I think she's really funny though. Like she was funny in the mini challenge, and I'm like, I'm sorry we don't get to see more of her because I think she actually was really funny. Her runway was a mess. Her entrance look was like, well, it could have been better, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't like terrible, but I think
I will say though, I fully commend her for wanting to spread her message about the Indigenous people of Australia. Always were and always will be, I think, is what the message said on her back. And it's great that she got the time to just show that message on the first episode before she went home. So snaps for that. Here's a flower. But
yeah, the one thing that I regret is that we don't get to learn more, right, about her culture.
Absolutely. However, I think this might be an opportunity though for her to draw a lot of people to her personal outlets and social medias to kind of continue that conversation. So I feel like if you want to learn more, go follow the doll.
Yeah. You go, JoJo. I do like you. Oh
my God. JoJo. Oh, here she is.
Tiffany,
here she is.
Tiffany, what do you have to say about Karen?
Well, I will say that I have a slight crush on Karen from Finance. I don't really understand.
But
yeah, like this is the first time I'm like, like another girl. I'm like, hey girl. But yeah, Karen from Finance, hugely talented. You can tell hugely talented and creative. And I just loved her entrance because it was very unique and bespoke.
Oh, where's the mark?
Right when she just walked right past.
I can't see the mark.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
This is another queen who 110% knows what her aesthetic is, what her persona is, and like what she wants to do. I feel like even after the show, like she's not here to figure shit out about herself. She's here to win. And I think from the episode 1, because she won the first episode, she's making it known to the girls.
Absolutely. I think she has equal lady. Oh, Courtney Williams says Karen plus Tiff equal Power Ladies Dream Team.
Oh God.
in on that. Yeah.
Could you imagine? So Karen, if you're watching, I know you're a fan of the Rendezview. Hit Tiffany up. She's waiting for your call.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I'm going to jump in here. So Karen and Ketamine, they so part of this whole journey, right, is I have no idea what that means. Uh, part of this journey is about branding, right?
You cranky old
build.
bat.
Oh, cranky old bat. Okay, thank you.
Cranky old bat.
Part of it is to build your brand and make yourself known to the public, right? And Karen from Finance has got that brand. Even with the 101s out of drag, she's wearing those square glasses, which is very unique and very brandy. You'll always remember, oh, that's
her
Karen from
eyebrow
Finance.
blockers, as she called them,
Eyebrow, exactly.
because she has no eyebrows.
And the same goes for ketamine here as well, because like on brand and in that in the 101s has the hat that says ketamine, like you know who it is.
Totally.
But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think she is gonna be one to watch. At first, I was kind of like, I don't know, girl. Like, where are we going with this? But as the episode went on, and then both of her looks, I think, were serviceable for the runway. I wasn't like blown away by any means, but I think that she might be one of those who kind of like bubbles under and then like strikes at kind of like near the end if she makes it.
She's the second part of the House of Drag duo as well.
Yes,
and
that's right.
You know, and I didn't talk about this in the other program that that I'm on, that I won't mention right now. But
oh my God, Tiffany, just plug it in.
The maple tea. What's the maple
Talk
tea?
about the maple tea.
Yeah.
What's the maple tea?
Now we get the royalties. Oh, you guys, I love royalties.
But you know that at some point in Down Under, the bottom two is going to be Anita and Kita.
Absolutely,
know it's going to happen.
Well, because they've already been like, Anita is like, you know, she's the Kelly and the Michelle, and Kita thinks that she's the Beyonce, or is it the other way around? Anita is. So they were saying Anita was like the side girl, right, and Kita was the main girl. So I feel like they may be building up to Anita maybe sending her home. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows at this point, right? So
that'd just be good TV. That'd be good TV.
She's funny. Maxie Shield. She is funny. I like her.
Yeah.
I liked it when she orgasmed for RuPaul. If I was a Dusty Lady, that is exactly how I would orgasm. Like, you know?
I want to like commend her for being, you know, she's obviously been doing drag for quite a while, and you know, it doesn't seem like she's been stuck in her like drag that she's been doing forever. It seems like she's been like evolving and growing and learning as drag has evolved, yet still keeping like her own personalized touches in it. Because, you know, you see these girls sometimes, Tiffany, much like yourself, they've been doing drag for a while and they just never switch it up. So it's kidding. But you see these girls that just kind of get stuck in their old ways, and then, you know, they get red for it, but then they don't really know how to branch out because now they're on the show being told to switch it up, but they kind of haven't really taught themselves or explored much. So snaps for her for keeping up with the times. Yeah.
Cool. Oh, not too sure about her.
Aquaria. I didn't realize she was.
I know it does look. She does look like Aquaria, though, for sure.
Aquaria, is that you?
Yeah, for real.
That's but
yep. I don't know. I honestly like when I watched this episode twice, and when they were like Scarlett Adams, I was like, who?
Who?
So, she's kind of fallen to the wayside. But
Yep. All right.
We'll see more from her
Okay, that's
later.
it then.
Is that it?
that's it.
Oh
That's
my
all.
God.
That's it. That's all.
Oh my goodness. Well, yeah.
Well, you know, it's this is going to be a really fun thing to watch, like all kind of first seasons of these Drag Race, these branches of Drag Race. So I'm excited to see what the girls are going to bring. And next week, or the episode that just aired, is Snatch Game already. So
I know.
it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to watch it. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
I know I haven't watched it either. Don't know what happens, but
Now that was only supposed to be like a 10-minute opener, but
but you know what? When we start talking about this gay shit, we just get carried away, right?
we get carried away.
We just get carried away.
But I want to kind of bring us back to the topic at hand here. Then, all right.
What are we talking about today, Miss Tiffany?
Well, we're talking about growing up gay, girl. Growing up gay.
It's something we all have been doing for a while. It's
I'm not growing up.
we're not growing up. We're growing out now.
We're growing up. Speak for yourself.
Speak for yourselves. I'm still young.
So Venus, I'm going to ask you this question. And I'm going to read it here. Tell us a story where you think the neighbors were wondering, there's something not right about that boy. Do you have a story?
Like, someone like teased me in the chat, so now I'm just going to do it despite them. You know what?
It was Courtney. I just want to say Courtney talking shit in the chat. So Courtney
called them out, but now I'm just like, I don't care. Man.
Say their names.
I want them more on. I do.
Drag her.
This is stupid.
You want me to ask Mercury first? Mercury.
No. I know exactly the exact scenario. Well, like, they can't see in the house, so I definitely think it was like this one time. Remember when I was like very big into Marie Antoinette when I first started, Tiffany?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
so
still have half your outfits.
Oh, do you really? Well, I gotta get some of those back because those are fun. I just like messing up with them. They're just fun to put on. What was I gonna say? Well, one time I like wore one of them to the store. Like I was like, there's like a Shoppers Drug Mart down my house, and me and my friend were just like fooling around at my place, just like, you know, playing dress up. That was like one of my most favorite things to do. I love playing dress up. I've always had. I think it's like a fun thing. That's why I love drag so much, because you can just dress up and be as wild as you want. And I put on one of the giant like 18th century costume gowns, and then I made my friend put one on too. And then we like trolloped over to like Shoppers Drug Mart to buy snacks.
Trolloped.
Yeah, that is the exact word I'm using. That was intentional. Like two 18th century hookers to the Shoppers Drug Mart. And yeah, I think that's the only time that like I've been out like, oh, you know what, there's probably different other times too when I was like leaving the house in drag to go to a show and like that too. But like I definitely don't think there was anything when I was like necessarily like younger. Yeah, I don't think there was anything when I was younger. Maybe I wore one of my mom's dresses outside once, but like I don't really think that even happened. So
oh my.
Yeah.
What about you, Mercury?
School though is different.
Yeah, for me, it's funny. It's almost kind of the same thing, and like that's just kind of, I feel like that's interesting how at like young ages, like, you know, the homos, we all just kind of act the same. We all kind of do the same thing without being exposed to all these outside sources yet. But growing up, when I was like little, I had a lot of costumes, and I had this one particular wig, and it was this really awful dollar store purple wig, and I was obsessed with it. And I think I was maybe 6 or 7 or 8, something in there, and I wanted to wear this wig like out and about. And so we would leave and go to like, Dairy Queen to get some like ice cream or something like that, and I would pop this wig on, and then we'd walk down the street, and just like the amount of times that if there was a neighbor out being like, and they'd like look at my mom and be like, "You're letting this happen," and then I would just be getting my whole damn life with this stupid shiny plastic wig on. But yeah, I do remember there was someone who lived across the street from us. I never knew their name, but when we were walking, they literally were like, but I didn't give a shit.
I love that though. I love that your mom didn't like. Your mom just like she didn't discourage it, and I think that's like so important for mothers to say. You just gotta let your child.
Seriously. Which, by the way, happy Mother's Day, Mom. I feel like I know you're watching. Happy early Mother's Day.
Yeah, I like. Go ahead.
Sorry, Venus.
No, I keep interrupting.
So, I do want to say though, like for Mercury's sake, because I'm just gonna. Your mother, I love her, and she has on her phone a photo of you in cowboy boots as like a small toddler sort of thing, because you love Shania Twain and you were trying to do Shania Twain or something.
We need to bring those photos up. We need to bring those photos up. That's so.
I don't think I have the. I don't think I have the one that my mom literally. She has like the real, like the physical photo in her purse that she'll show people, and she has the one on her phone. But I do have one. Let me try to find it. While you ask the next question, Tip.
I think I have the Shoppers Drug Mart photo, and I wonder if I can find it.
Oh, here's one. So this is me at, I want to say 4 or 5.
Oh.
Yeah. So that is a turkey baster that I am using as a microphone. These boots, my sister had them for some reason. I don't know why she had these like go-go space boots, but I stole them, obviously. And then this like red little skate costume. I don't know how it came to be in my possession, but it did. And oh yes, girl. Like she was doing drag. Okay, she was doing drag.
All right. Well, then next question. When? Because this is an interesting. This is a kind of a common question that you sometimes have at a campfire or something. When did you realize you were gay? Venus.
You know what? I honestly don't think. I don't know. I didn't really realize what gay was until like I was older, but I knew from a younger age that I was different because everyone who's around you has a habit of pointing out how different you are. And sometimes it's in a good way, and sometimes it's in a bad way. Obviously, but I think like I realized I was gay probably when I was around like grade 7 or 8, so like maybe 11 or 12. But I don't think it was like a realization necessarily where I was like, oh, I'm gay. It was like it kind of was, but it was like just like kind of putting a name to what like I've always felt.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think it was very easy for me to be like, oh, this is what I am, but like also very hard because at the time, I don't know how it is in schools now, but at the time, like anything that was different, it was like shunned and pushed away. So I think I like held on to it. I don't really think I I may have like struggled with it a bit for sure before I like came to like a full realization. But I think like by the time I came out, I was like grade 10 or 11. I kind of like realized when I was like maybe around grade 7 that I was, gay. I thought I was kind of bi at first because I had crushes on girls, but I think I just kind of like idolized them. Let's brush our hair and hold hands, like best friends. Like it wasn't like I don't think it was anything sexual. I don't think anything is really sexual when you're really, really, really young. But yeah, I think I'm grade 7.
And Mercury, well, apparently you must have realized really early on.
From the day I was born. It started when I was born. No, it's kind of almost like the same thing. Like, it's really interesting how a lot of us share the experience of being told what you are before you really kind of understand what you are, or kind of like go through like the process of realizing what you are. Because for me, I was being told that I was gay, that I was a fag, that I was a fairy, that I was a princess, that I was everything from almost as young as I can remember. And it's so wild to me how it's like, you know, at a very young age, you're going to tell a kid that, but then when they start to grow up and then be like, okay, maybe I am, be like, no, you're not. It's not real. Like, you just need therapy. And it's like, okay, but I've been hearing this my entire life. So like, what's the deal? And then I think around grade 7 or grade 8 is when, after hearing you're gay, I was like, oh shit, maybe I am. And then it almost was kind of like a moment of like, okay, I get it now. Yeah, I see it. But then from like, you know, kind of what Venus was saying, from like the relentless bullying and teasing that came around it, I was like, well, shit, this is a problem. And I was very actively trying to make it known that I wasn't, in specifically grade 7 and grade 8. And then I just kind of like looked at myself one day and I was like, girl, you're not fooling anybody. And then once I got over that, things for me like internally became easier, although all the shit externally stayed the same. But yeah, it was around grade 7 or grade 8.
Yeah, that's interesting. Just hearing that you're going by grades in school, and I'm like, how old would you be in grade 7, grade 8?
12?
Is, yeah. Oh,
12 and
so just when
13?
just when
Because I
you were
was
hitting
14 in grade
puberty.
9. So yeah, like around 12, 13, I want to say,
Okay.
is when you're grade 7 or grade
Yeah.
8. How about you, Miss Thing? I know I gotta think a long way back, but
Hold on, let me get the scrolls. Let me get the scrolls out. Hold on. I'm going to conjure up my classmates now. Hold on a
yeah,
second.
blow the dust up.
Oh, spirits of classmates past.
Ah.
um, yeah, yeah. I think it was yeah, it was about the beginning of puberty, which seems to be a common thread sort of thing. And I totally agree with what Venus was saying too. Like you know, you're just trying to figure things out, and then you finally are able to put a kind of a name, a moniker on something, and then you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's exactly how I'm feeling. And I went through before then. I yeah, kids can be cruel, can't they? They can be really freaking cruel. I
Yeah.
Seriously.
remember, yeah, people would like bully me at like you're like what like 8 years old or something like that, 10 years old. You don't even know what these words mean, and they don't even know what the words mean either, and they're throwing them at you. And this is just triggering. Hopefully this isn't triggering word for some people, but yeah, calling you a faggot. Um, that was a very common word, and I who knew? I don't think any of us knew what the word meant at 10 years old, but
Oh my god, no.
they were using it,
Mhm.
and then then you feel a little bit of a shame afterwards too, right? Because it was very clear that it was a negative term. Mind you,
Yeah,
I'm a little
yeah.
bit of a different generation than you guys, I think. But not I'm not trying. Sorry, when I say that, I don't mean to diminish anything. Um,
Well,
but
it's interesting
yeah,
that you say
it's
that because, you know, even though we are different generations and like all three of us were in middle school at like I in like high school at very different times,
Okay,
but
we're not
we
that different.
very different. um, but yet we all kind of did experience something similar, and it's like kids don't come up with these terms by themselves, right? They hear it somewhere, and then it's kind of like, okay, so what the fuck are their parents saying?
yeah,
Because that's probably the source. Um,
It's like it's kind of those things where like people call me faggot all the time, and I didn't even know what that was. But I knew that I was that because people had kept calling me that. And I think it was just like, the problem wasn't the word itself. The problem is that they were singling me out and making me feel isolated and alone.
Yes.
And
yes.
Oh my God.
And it's just like, you know, you just don't want to feel alone and isolated like that, because all you want to do as a kid is just fit in. And they were preventing that by calling me and then like, and I'm like singling me out and be like, oh, this is the faggot. Like, he's the faggot. He's a faggot. And it's just like, you know, when you're just, all you want is acceptance and to feel belonged. It's like the opposite of that. It's like the worst thing in the world.
Damn, you said it. That is like exactly what it is. Because when that's happening, like for me, it was like, am I the only one? I am. Like, because when you are kind of living or presenting yourself as authentically as you want to be, a lot of times, a lot of people aren't. And so, you know, you do feel like you are literally on the lonely island. And then all these like negative connotations that come around it, you're like, well, I can't continue like this. So something's got to give, right?
Oh my God, like I'm just sitting back and I'm like, wow, girls, like you guys can, like, you're so, what's the word, self-aware, like you know your emotions and stuff, and thank you so much for sharing those, because you know they are, but being able to put them into words, because goodness knows I don't think I could have done it that eloquently. So thank you so much. I just want to take a moment. If you're just tuning in now, my name is Miss Tiffany Morgan.
My name is Mercury Wild.
And I am Venus de Rogue.
And this is the Rendez-View. And right now we are discussing what it's like growing up gay, our personal experiences, and kind of how that has shaped us into the people that we are today. Because I think this is a very important topic to talk about, especially for, you know, if there's anyone who is young, who is listening to this, to kind of hear that there are experiences that you go through, like what we're talking about, yet you can come out on the other side of it, like fully realizing that, you know, being all those things that were once thought of as a negative actually can be spun into something that you can make a fucking career out of. You know what I mean?
Not me. But
I said could. I said could, not will. Not will. Just
like,
saying you can't.
Like, which one of us made a career out of this?
I mean, I made $10 at a show. That's money.
Sucking a dick in the back.
Oh my goodness sakes! Oh, someone's got some drinks going on here.
The White Claw. We're drinking the Cottage Spring, actually.
Oh.
I'm drinking Fresh Cleaner.
I'm drinking vodka and Diet Sprite.
Oh, she's got the Diet Sprite now. Wow.
You mean soda?
All right, we're done that drink, and now we go on to the second drink.
Just ready to go.
You know, I prepared ahead of time.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, well, so now that we've kind of discussed a little bit of the school, you know, related to what it's like growing up gay, I think it is, you know, a very triggering topic for a lot of people to discuss what their experience was like in school, especially as young queer people, because like Tiffany mentioned earlier, kids can be just fucking awful. And it's almost kind of like what, throwing back to what Venus said of like just so badly wanting to fit in. It felt for me like people wanted to fit in by picking on me or by picking on the other queer that was in the school. Because I was in, especially in middle school, I was in a school where there was 4 separate programs that ran somewhat separately. And so there was a lot of kids in different programs that I never met. But I knew, I was like, oh, there's another homo. But I was like, we can't band up, we can't get together because they're gonna get us both. But it's like, it seems like, because being mean and being a bully it made you cool, right? You were popular if you picked on people in school, at least for my experience. And so it was kind of like when the most popular people are the ones that are like dogging on you, it's like, damn, like what am I to do here? But we kind of already discussed it a little bit, but is there anything that, has either stuck with you or you feel kind of like shaped you today from your school experience, either middle school, high school, anything like that? I'll throw it to you first, Tiffany.
I should have read the questions ahead of time.
Yeah, right.
She's got to dust off the obelisk. She's got.
I can actually.
You want to start, Venus?
Do you want to go first, Venus?
Yeah, I actually have like, you know what? I think like because I was picked on and like, I'm sorry, this is like I did not. I was like a bit of a loner in school. I just learned how to take time alone by myself. And that's something that still carries with me today. Like if I'm not feeling comfortable or not feeling like I like belong in a setting, I'll just like go and spend time by myself. Is it a bad thing? Is it a good thing? I don't know. It lets me accomplish other shit that I can't do by myself that I can't do when I'm with people. Oh, thank you to Mary Lee who said she would hurt some bitches for us all.
Oh.
She's the one. She's the one that like scopes out all the gays in school in her life, and she's like, "Get over here! You say talking shit."
But other than that, I've also think like I've had a more inclusive nature. Like if I ever see someone who's like not, it feels like they are. I always try to include people, and maybe that's not always the case, but like I try my best to always include people. I think is a better way to say it.
Yeah.
Because I know what it feels like to be excluded, and I think it's one of those things where I just, you don't want anyone to feel that way when you've been there because it really, really fucking sucks. Oops.
Absolutely.
Beeping that out, beep. And yeah, so I think that's another thing. Like, I think it's just those two things, like being kind of like having an introvert and more alone time, and then also being more inclusive or trying to be like the best that I can. Is like I think two things that carry with
Yeah,
me.
that's actually really, I think, really important is being okay with being by yourself, or like knowing how to be by yourself and be comfortable with it, and know when to just remove yourself from a situation that is like, this is not doing anything good for me, so I'm just gonna tap out. So how about you, Tiff? Have you thought of anything from back in the day?
Well, this may be just a very typical thing. Like, it's just
that's okay.
What's the word I'm looking for here? It's just I
oh my god, guys, Lee showed me the photo of me at Shoppers Drug Mart. Can you see that?
Oh,
yeah. Do you see it? That's me.
Yeah.
Us.
Oh my god.
I can't even. Oh, there goes my phone. But yeah. Anyway,
it was there for a minute. People can watch us back and see it.
Like when I think about high school, well, anything before university sort of thing. I look back at it as it was kind of a bit traumatic. And I don't know if I've reconciled with everything. Like in high school, there were obviously other gays too. Mind you, it was a small high school. It was like 300 students, and if you do the Kinsey scale, there's 10% of them who are gay,
right?
Which is what, 30 at most. So yeah, there were a few other gays. But I was the really singled out one, and I was a bit of the sacrificial one, to be honest. Like, like if anyone was like, "Oh, are you gay?" They're like, "No, but Jim is." Or sorry, Tiffany is. you know, they deflect the that evilness, I suppose you can say it, right?
Right.
So, but I have reached out. Like I do talk to some of those people in high school. I haven't approached that topic because it was just actually I think I did with one person, but like like their experiences were traumatic too, right? I don't want to call it trauma, but their experiences were traumatic too. So like how can you blame anyone for
Yeah.
trying to deflect that, like, you know, the mean spiritedness and stuff like that. Um,
Well, I think it's kind of important that you say that because I feel like with a lot of us, if there was someone who was in the closet and they see the one who is getting picked on, they're like, I don't want any of that smoke. Like, I'm going to let that all fall on you. You know what I mean?
yeah. And it's really great to hear, like today, that they have like the gay straight alliances and stuff like that in high school.
Yeah.
Um, I really do like that. When it comes to university, though, oh my God, I on day one I was out. I was out, I was like I am going to be out, and you know, as soon as I met my dorm mates and stuff, I'm like, hi, I'm Tiffany and I'm gay.
Move, I'm gay.
Yeah. Like right off the bat, I was
I
like,
love
you
that.
know, and that may not have been the right choice, but it it's still like, you know, I think it set me up. Um, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, there's still things about, you know, and at my age too, like, you know, hello, come on, get with it, that I'm just like I haven't really dealt with, but um, I can I can relate to it. I don't know where I'm
Right.
going with that, but anyway, let's get
Right.
off the topic before I start, like, you
Yeah.
know, needing a Xanax. Where's my
Well,
Xanax?
it's funny because I can remember one specific thing from grade 10. Because in grade 10, I really kind of started to explore more than just because like at that point I knew I was gay. I wasn't trying to deny it anymore, even though I was still getting picked on. I started to really explore gender, and I had always had long hair, but I was like, I'm gonna get hair extensions. I'm gonna straighten my hair. I'm gonna color my hair. I'm gonna put on makeup. I started buying girls' clothes. I started like wearing tall boots and stuff like that. And you know, I feel like it was something that I didn't want to do it for anybody. I didn't want to do it for anything. That is just genuinely what I wanted to do. That is how I wanted to present myself and explore. And I remember one day I had some glitter on my face and I went to school. And there was this kid and he was down the hall and he looked at me and he said to his friend group, he was like, I swear to God, if I see him with glitter on his face one more time, I'm going to fuck him up. And I was kind of like,
with
damn, I was like, I didn't, right? I was like, damn, like, I didn't know that this was so, you were so sensitive to this. And then that kind of got a little bit worse. And even though I kept on keeping on, it like continued to like borderline start to get threatening because I was just doing what I wanted to do. And I was like, okay, this is a problem now. And then you kind of revert into like survival mode in a way where you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna either get you before you get me, or now I'm gonna start picking things out that I know people are not gonna like. And then, you know, I cut my hair and I stopped wearing makeup and I only wore, you know, boy clothes and masculine clothes because I was like, I can't be getting fucked up. Like, I don't know what to do in a fight. But then fast forward to now, I'm 24 and I am living as a proud non-binary human being. And I, you know, all those years of presenting myself way more masculine is all of those little bits of trauma that get stuck with me. And although it was something that was really tough at the time, has now made me, you know, so sure with what I'm doing. Because I'm like, although there's people that really don't like this and they don't want to see it, they don't want to hear it, I know that this is me and I know that this is what I want to do, much to other people's chagrin. So that is something that I think has like really kind of shaped me into the drag queen / human that I am right now. Although at the time was kind of scary. That some teenager in high school had such an adverse reaction, and I'm like, watch them come out in 20 years. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Can
it's like
I'm sorry, we haven't heard from Venus in a while, but I'm gonna add one quick little story.
yeah,
Because I feel like I'm like, oh, that was a really heavy freaking conversation. So I'm gonna put a little light spin on things.
yeah,
So my graduation year in high school, um, I was starting to finally, get my feet underneath me and feel confident. And this guy randomly in the cafeteria was like, "Hey Tiffany, are you gay?" Like, blah blah blah. And I don't know where it came from, and I still remember it to this day. And I'm like, I turn around. I'm like, "Why are you looking for a date to the prom?" and I, oh my gosh, like, that was a really great moment. So, of course he was speechless, and I really would have loved taking him to the prom, but all right, sorry.
Venus,
no,
were you gonna say
yeah,
something?
no, I think like as to your point, like Mercury, it's like one of those things where it's just like, going through all those experiences, like it really helps you define, know who you are, like later on.
Totally.
I don't like. I just wonder if people who don't have those experiences really know that, but maybe it's easier for them because they're told who they are from a very young age and they just grow into
Right.
it. So
Right.
I don't know, but like, yeah, I don't want. Yeah, no, I'm just glad I know who I am today, and it's like those experiences who've helped me figure out who I am. I don't think it's any like I think like it's it. It must just feel so awful. It just and no, it does feel awful to feel threatened to be authentic to who you are.
Right.
Like that guy who said he would fuck you up. Like that's just absurd. Like it doesn't like whose business is it of you? Like why do you care so much what that person over there is wearing? You don't talk to that person. You just have
Seriously.
to you have to look at that person. If that person walks by, just look the other fucking way. Like it.
Yep.
Like I like. Like it's none of your business, and like it's just these people are so weird that have like a bone to pick like that when they're like, oh, like you can't do this and you can't do this. Stop telling me what I can't do. Worry about yourself. Like
worry about yourself. Exactly.
Like just don't worry about me.
Yeah.
You don't know me. You don't even care about me.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like it's like don't bring God into this because like I made my peace with him or her or whoever it is. Like yeah, like we are fine. Like yeah, like just worry about yourself. So
well, and that's exactly it, right? And it's so funny you say that because did you guys ever have those moments where like in class someone like your teacher or a student would say something remotely gay or like gay related, and then everybody would like look at you, like the whole class would turn around and like I remember like the one time I think like a teacher said something about like Lady Gaga or one of those gay topics, and I just felt every head in the room turn and they were like, talking about you? Is this your business? And I was like, are you fucking looking at me? Like, I'm not here.
Well, Mercury would know. Mercury would know. Venus
well,
would
yeah,
know that topic.
Exactly.
Oh, hair and makeup. Well, Venus will know.
yeah, right.
I mean, you just feel like every head turned towards you, and you're just like, oh my god.
Well, it's just like, was there with the term like the saying was like, oh, that's gay. Was that a thing? Oh yeah, like your eyes were both like, oh yeah, I remember that. Like no one says that anymore.
Thank God.
Oh
Like,
it
Oh my
started
God.
in my high school. Yeah.
it was in my high school too.
That was ground zero. Was Tiffany's high school.
It was such a thing to say that even I was saying that. You know what I mean? Like it was like I think I was saying it through high school, and then being like, "Wait, is that gay?" I don't know. Like,
Well, it's so funny how for so long people would use that word when they meant dumb, stupid,
Yeah.
lame, whatever the term was. But what they were trying to say is that's dumb or that's stupid or like I don't like that. It's like that's gay, and
don't say dumb. Say mediocre.
yeah.
Mediocre. That's
mediocre.
all right. Instead of saying
Like,
that's so gay, say that's mediocre.
Yeah,
That's déclassé. Déclassé.
Don't say dumb. Don't say stupid because they're all offensive.
Seriously.
Like it's.
And also calling somebody mediocre, I'm like, oh, that hurts. It's like at least I'm not mediocre.
Mediocre.
Ooh. Oh, what a read. What a read.
What a read. What a read.
Before we wrap this up, it's so funny how all these years later, all these things that we kind of heard or got told, we have now fully reclaimed. And like I remember because having long hair as a kid, and like I'm talking like grade 4 and grade 5, I wasn't presenting anything super feminine except for having long hair. That was it. And I would get called a he, she all the time. And people would ask me if I'm a boy or a girl. And I would just remember being like, I'm a boy. Like I was just so like, do not call me that. But now, all these years later, I'm like, I'm not either. I'm both. I'm everything. Call me what you want. He, she, that's great. Like
I am the sun, the stars. I am the moon. I am the.
It's like I am not one or the other. I am both. I am neither. I am all. It's like, are there any things that you guys have either been called or been told, and now, like all these years later, probably like we all share the same, but now you're like, yeah, and what?
Sorry.
Well, it was a very long time ago for Tiffany, so she doesn't quite remember.
Hold on. Let me crank the gears. Let me crank the gears, and I'll try to remember.
Back when they would scribble things on the walls of the caves to read.
So I remember when I was, going to the corner store, buying some jubes, Gandy, whatever, sort of thing. Cigarettes, and they'd be like, the store clerk would call me a girl or something like that, and I would get so offended by that. But today I couldn't give a damn if someone said, use an improper pronoun or something like that. I do give a damn if they call me he when I'm dressed like this, like, sort of situation.
That's a lot of work.
He's doing okay. And my, yeah. So I have last thoughts. I want to share.
Yeah.
What are they?
Do you want to share them? You gonna share them now?
Yeah.
Not well. I don't want to go off topic here, but
Venus, you go, and then
because the spotlight's on me now. So it's really nice to like share these stories, because clearly we're 3 strong people who were able to make that transition to accepting ourselves for who we are, and to damn with whatever, the outside forces and stuff like that. But there are people today who are still, let's say, in the closet, right? There are still people who haven't been able to make that transition. And it's something to think about. It like I'm grateful. Like this is a gratitude kind of moment, I suppose. I'm grateful that I'm able to have made that transition, and successfully too, right? Because some people make that transition and it hasn't been successful, and we hear about the big names like I'm just forgetting his name now, who died in like Oklahoma and stuff like that, like
Matthew Shepard?
Matthew
Shepard. Yeah, exactly. So
and then there's
I'm
like Jamie Rodemeyer, like so many, and they were kids, right? Like children.
Yeah, kids. Yeah. So I'm great. I just want to say that I'm grateful for that. So Thank you for sharing these stories with us too. So
it's definitely taught me to be resilient, and like bounce back. And I think that's like one of the most like if I could pull anything away from like the experience of growing up gay is that like I am now more resilient than ever. I am a weed. You cannot kill me.
But you can smoke it.
You can do a lot of things, but like you're gonna have to join me to get rid of me. So like she's coming back, girl. She will always be there.
And the cat came back, girl. And you know what? I think that is like when you kind of have these conversations, you realize that there's a lot of shared experience across generations or across, people who are either experiencing this in school or at home or any type of thing like that. And then it's almost kind of one of those things that was like unspoken or like not really talked about or discussed a lot. And so now I think, especially now that there's so much discussion around gender expression at such a young age, and not a lot of people trying to negate or trying to tell these kids that they're not what they say they are. I am so happy to see where this is going and that these young kids are like, I'm trans, I'm non-binary, I'm neither, I'm everything, like I'm one or the other. And now being so sure about it and seeing that there are people kind of like what we're doing now who are, just living very confidently, even though I'm not saying, it's weird that you're kind of like grateful that you went through these experiences, even though at the time I was not feeling grateful at all because I was like, this is awful. But now you can look back at it and be like, when you are constantly in survival mode, because that's kind of what it's like growing up gay, when you're getting it at home, you're getting it at school, you don't have a great friend group. You're like, I have to find a way to get through this somehow. And now I think that's what makes queer people so, amazing when they get older, when they do live through these things. It's because we've been through it. We have empathy for people when we see it. Even if you're the one that's kind of dogging on somebody, it's like, I see what you're going through and I'm going to choose to let you have this one because I'm past it. You're working through something, but I'm past it. So I am grateful that I've kind of reached that. Even though it took some wild steps to get here, but
well, girl, every step that you took before today is what made you today. Like, and I know we focus on the traumas. There were good times too. Like, I had a really small group of friends who were tight knit and God bless them, wherever the hell they are. But
it was a long time ago. They're probably dead.
If you're digging up fossils, they may be my friends. But,
oh my god!
A bomb somewhere.
Whenever you're at the gas machine, the gas guzzler, just think some of those could be my friends from high school. So.
Yeah. There's extra sugar in the tank.
Girls, thank you. I've enjoyed this time.
Me too. This was like, I feel like these Rendez-View episodes are gonna kind of turn into like a bit of catharsis and a bit of therapy, if not for us, hopefully for other people. And if there's one person who either sees this down the road or is watching it right now who has resonated or has kind of been like, I share that or I experienced that as well, and now you're kind of feeling better in a way, or validated or just seen in a way, I feel like we've done our job, right?
Hallelujah. Oh wait, we're leaving God out of this.
God is a gaga. We can talk about her.
All right. Oh
well, girls, have we done it? Have we done the thing?
Yes, we have. Thank you, ladies. That was amazing. I think we can call that a wrap for today.
I think we can as well. Make sure that you follow us on Facebook. We have a real Facebook page now. It's the Rendez-View. We're working on a website. It's coming. And you can know when we are going to be coming out with new episodes, new content. We are cooking some things up, and I'm so excited about it because we are still in lockdown. It's probably going to last a whole lot longer, so it seems. So until then, we are going to be making some content.
Yes. We'll be back in 2 weeks. You'll have me and Mercury Wild. Tiffany will be AFK for that time being, but me and Mercury will hopefully bring you a show that.
Oh, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be a little bit different from this. It's going to be a little bit different, but it's going to be good. I'm excited.
And I'll watch it afterwards.
Yeah, mainly because we don't have Tiff to be running the stream behind the scenes, so we're gonna figure out something else. But I guarantee you, it's gonna be entertaining.
Oh yes.
Ooh. All right. Well, you've been watching The Rendezview with
Episode 2
with your host Venus Morgan. Venus DeRogue. Morgan.
Venus Morgan DeRogue. I don't know what is my name anymore. Venus
Mercury
Wild
Wild.
Morgan.
Mercury Wild and me, Tiffany Morgan.
Yay!
So thank you, sweet peas. Yay!
Catch you next time.
We'll see you on the flip side.
Get vaccinated. Get vaccinated. Let's do it, y'all. Woo.
Hell, you couldn't watch too.